Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 21st of January, starting with the ASX on the daily chart here. So we can understand from this structure here as wave 1 here, because I can count 5 waves in here, I can count 5 waves in here, a corrective wave 4 that has an overlap wave 1. So I think that I'm on the right count here. As I mentioned before, the only trick with this is that I'm not quite sure how to look at this in here. I will view it again today as wave 1 and 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 here. But it's also possible for this to be a wave 4 here as well, even though it doesn't count down as a nice 5 waves there. It's only down as 3 waves, so it's corrective. But when I look at the materials sector, then it counts quite nicely down here as an A and a B and a C here, and then having this as 1 ABC for 2 here, nice third wave here in that particular case. So I'll just show you that before I move on here. So we want the XMJ here, so I'll just bring that in, the materials sector. So with the materials sector, we've still got further to go up here. So this is the daily chart, and this is the top here. Okay, so first of all, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, which is down for 5 waves. This move here is actually up in 3 waves here. And then we can look at this through here also as 5 waves down here too, in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it makes for an A and a B and a C wave here. Now we know that the materials sector and the banking sector are the drivers for the ASX200, and the ASX200 can get squashed in between those guys a little bit. But when the when the materials sector and the banking sector are moving together, we see the ASX 200 really scoot along swiftly, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. So this particular count through here still has further to go to the upside here. So the 1500 will be the next level up here for this. This 5-wave structure up here is not complete. We won't look at that today. But you can still trade Rio and BHP higher as well. This is a pretty much a picture of BHP really. If I just go and have a look at that, BHP from. So yeah, so you know, we can expect new highs to be made here for BHP as well. So continuing to the upside for that. But yeah, I just wanted to show, to try and help resolve this a little bit here. So there's a couple of ways I can look at that here. So I will track both counts on this. So on the 4-hour chart, we'd been looking, well, we mentioned yesterday that we'll look at it as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then wave 1 and 2 here. But more than likely, it's probably this wave 4 here, which would make wave 1 and 2 over here for this one here, which would be a bit more realistic in terms of the labeling, the degree of structure that we're actually looking at here. But still, either way, we're looking for a third wave up here. So in that third wave up here, this the length of wave, we know that wave 3 is not the smallest, so wave 1 here, which is roughly on this low here, that's the length of wave 1. So if we pop that on here as wave 3, we're just equal in terms of size here at the moment. So normally we are, you know, the wave 3 would be longer and stronger. So I still think that this has actually got further to go up here. So I've been conservative in the count coming up through here in terms of, well, go to a smaller chart in a moment. But yeah, so we've been looking at it in a conservative way here. But I know that, well, even if I just look at, this is the S&P 500, and it's on a 20-tick chart here. So on this 20-tick chart here, we had a holiday yesterday for these guys, but basically we can look at this from this low here, wave 1 and 2 here, and then the move up here higher would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we still need this 5th wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we've still got this wave here to go as well. So we're going to see a move up here, then a move back, and then a move up again. So we've still got a good session or so to the upside for this market here. So we're still going to see the Australian market move up higher as well here. So just based on the US there, we're going to see that, and that at least, right? So that's just based on the US market. So on the hourly chart here, this has been my conservative count, counting this up here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I don't like wave 4 here because it's too small compared to wave 2 here, so you know that's all a little bit iffy. But just based on the US count here that we just had a bit of a look at, we're still going to see a move up here, a move back, and a move up again here for this. Yeah, so probably not that big actually, because it was a tick chart and this is an hourly chart, but we'll still see further upside here. If you've been stopped out, that's cool. You can still go long on 7,100 here and just keep the stop under here for that as well. Just keep it out of the way for the moment. But yeah, support on top of that will take it there. But on the 15-minute chart, I think I've got a different count on this one here. Yeah, so this is a count here coming up from the last low here, which is probably wave 2 here. So I'll just pop that in there. Not that it's a big deal at this stage. And looking for wave 3 to the upside here. Well, I'll put that in. Try not to be too lazy. So this is a count here that I know the US markets will take us this one, and this one. I don't know, I can't confirm this one and this one here yet, okay, to make the top here for this one. I know that the wave 3 up here is still a bit short. It's the same length as wave 1. But when I count it here, I can go 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 and 2 here. And then from wave 2 here, we've got, well, up here for wave 3 that's not finished just yet. But yeah, I'll leave you, you can pause the video and pull that apart and throw tomatoes and things. So, but yeah, still this a little push up here, a retest it. Well, this wave 4 can actually come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, so be a little bit mindful of that, because what we also might get here too is the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the ABC correction, and then up from that point. So we could actually come back into this space here. So you'll just need to keep your stops out of the way at that particular point. And this is big. This is the one that we'd really want to chase over here, but you can do a little trade up through here, just keep it nice and tight perhaps. Yeah, so yeah, still looking up at where this is 7,000 and we're looking at group 1 here, so 100, 200 and 300, and I just expect quite a large correction at the top here. But if this ever became the support here, then we would move up higher from that point. But it will be something like, you know, be a larger correction as such here, something like that before it moved up. But yeah, so we could still be in a bit more of a trend, but I can confirm this, but I can't confirm this at this stage based on the US markets. Alrighty, so off to Hong Kong next. So with Hong Kong here, from this low here, for instance, I can count 5 waves up in terms of 1 and 2 here, and then 3 here and 4 here, then 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for this one here. Then we've had this corrective move here. So this move up through here, you know, I wonder how that sort of fits in. My first assumption would be to put wave 1 here and wave 2 pulling back 50-60% and then moving up higher from that point. So that's how I'm going to consider it at this stage, and then we'll just have to label this 5 waves up here for larger wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, and then see this move up. So I'm a little bit unsure about that at the moment, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at this here in terms of, first of all, the retracement level here. which will bring us down to the 61.8%. So just be mindful of that there, and then see a move up from that point. So let's get rid of this. Which makes this a, we can just put that there. Before we go in and buy this, we just want to be a little bit mindful as well. So what we'll do is that once this finishes down through here, and it looks like it's slowing down now, but either way, what we'd want to see is we'd want to see a little impulse wave to the upside. We need to go to drawing class, but yeah, little 5 waves up, and then we can come through this way or take the highs out. But we want that confirmation of 5 waves to the upside first, and then we can just have a small trade in, and we can look to add and build on top of support over here. And if this is the case, then we'll see wave 3 take us up into the 30,000 area through there. So we'll look at this as a ABC pattern here. This one here, so an A and a B and a C wave for wave 2 here. We're not going to go long until we get confirmation. I'll have a look at this in a bit more detail through here. We're looking for 5 waves in here. If you can count that, that's fine. I've had a quick look, but couldn't quite grasp it here, grab it in my mind. So if you can go to the tick chart and have a look at that if you're interested, but I can see parts of it, of course. I can see 5 waves in this leg here. I'm not sure if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this first one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll just wait another session. We're not missing anything. I just need something I can identify. I need a wave 4 I can identify and go, oh yeah, well, that's a wave 4, and then that'll clear all that up. But I don't think we're down here just yet. But either way, we still need 5 waves to the upside before we can do anything. So the Nifty 50 with India here. So the move up through here, I've just labelled it wave 1 and 2, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave, an A and a B and a C for the 4th wave here, and then up for the 5th wave on this high here. We haven't made a new high here. It's close, but it's not. So there's a couple of things here. I mean, I could label this another degree higher and put intermediate wave 5 on here, but I just don't think that's the case. I think we're more likely to be looking at wave 1 here and coming back for wave 2 here for this, and then going up from that point. This is the 50-60% retracement level here, but it doesn't have to move all the way down through here. And in fact, it may just move down to 11.8 here, or the last low here, because this has moved up really quite high here. This move down through here can count as 5 waves here. Yeah, so what I've done is I've gone over to look at the HDFC BANK here, and this is on the hourly chart here. Maybe I can just squash this up a little bit. No, that's about it. So this is an hourly chart of HDFC BANK, 60 minutes, and this is the top here. So on the Nifty, the top came up here much higher, didn't it? But it still didn't go through the top here. It came up high though. But what we can see here is we can see 1 and 2 and 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and down for wave 5 here. So this looks like an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here for a B wave. So we've got 5 waves here. So after a corrective move up to the upside, we're going to see a move to the downside, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. So this trend here to the downside is definitely not finished, and we'll see it move down into the probably 1230 sort of area, if not lower here. We just need to count it as we go. I mean, I can see from Well, I'll have to take it from this one here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 here. 4 is in consolidation. We'll see 5 from that point. Then we've still got this little wave here to add into play. Then we've still got, I'll take this as down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2. So we've still got a fair bit to play out through down here. So yeah, somewhere down into this space here, making a new low below here. So we can look at, sorry about the ads, this is just trading view application. It's the only place I could get the data. So I might join up with them, we'll see. Yeah, so anyway, it's got further to go down. So basically, looking at this here, this count here, would be in line with this 5 waves down here, and ABC back up to here, and then moving down. But I could also count this as 5 waves up here, so we just need to be a little bit mindful. So for this market here, we need to look at a few things. So we've got 12,000 here, then we've got 1, 2, and 3 here. So on number 1 here, 100, 12,100, we've got the 50-60% retracement level. So we just need to be careful that we just don't get 3 waves to this point here and then move up higher from that. So once we've got our second high here, we can look at that. But otherwise, if this, we're going to get some support here anyway, and we're going to get support here. But you know, I've just got to see, at minimum, we'd look down, back down here as a bit of a flat correction here. But we'll just see, you know. It's going to be a little bit tricky because we've got 5 here. That means that we should get 5 over here. It could just take us to this point here, and then we could go up from this point. We may get 5 waves down to here, and then we might get an ABC pattern back up to here, and then another 5 waves down, and so on here. But I'm always concerned when I see a market that goes back up past its 61.8% mark and goes up and tests the highs here. That's telling me that there's strength in the market, and that means that when it comes down, it'll just come back down to this point here and not make new lows here. But what we've got to do is, first of all, we've got to see if we get 5 waves down here. That 5 waves could be the end of it. We could go up from that point in terms of an A and a B and a C, or it may be down for 1, back for 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. We just need to go step by step with it as such. So I don't even know if this number 1 here is right and number 2 here is right either. I don't know that much. So I can only work with what I know as the market unfolds here. But as it says so far, we should be seeing further downside for wave C here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this has always bothered me as well because it never finished off properly through here. I mean, we can go 1, 2, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here, which I did. But it suits quite nicely for an A and a B and a C wave here, and then up for 1 and back for 2 here. But so we should go step by step through here. So this drop that's coming down through here looks impulsive, so we should see this move down, perhaps down a little bit further here, and then see an ABC pattern here coming back up 40-50%, whatever, and then moving down here. So what we need to see at this point is we need to see this there will be some consolidation here, so you just need patience here, and then here, and then we'll get the 5 waves here. But that 5 waves could be the A, the B, and the C, and finishing here, and then going higher from that point. So we need to be mindful. So when this has 5 waves here, we're still going to get a kickback here, and then move down again, possibly from that, or we'll continue to the upside from there. That's so it's going to be a little bit tricky getting through all of this here. Okay, so I don't know. We'll just have to work it through the best we can, and I'll keep an eye on some of the other larger stocks there. And thanks for everybody sending in information about the Indian market, the stocks and links, and I appreciate all that, and I'll slowly work through that, and I'll slowly incorporate that into my analysis of the Nifty 50, and we'll look at stocks here and there, and it really helps comparing things. It helps a lot because even when I look at, if I was looking at the S&P 500, for example, and I know the Australian market is a bit like a dog on a lead and follows it along. So if I look at the Australian market and I think, well, the count is really quite clear and we've got much higher to go, well, then the only way it's going to get up there is by the US going up there. So then it makes me think about the S&P 500 again, and I start reevaluating what I've done, and I look and compare, and that's how I work through with things. So you can find a lot of answers in comparisons with other markets. So quite a valuable thing. But once again, thanks for sending that information in. I really appreciate it. Okay, cheers.